So this is my first coding tutorial. I'm doing this because I saw a video that was basically showing how to create like an area that you can walk into, and then when you walk into it, it hides the tiles, so it's kind of like a hidden area. So like what we'll add is an area tile right here, and then when we walk in here, it won't be solid and it will fade away. And we'll make it to where when we walk out of it, it fades back in. And I saw the way he did it, and it was good for like, just to implement it, but I think I could make a tutorial that like, gives some concepts, like classes and stuff, and just a more efficient way of doing it. And if you're a beginner and you don't understand some of the stuff, I still think you should use this code because there's a lot that you can learn from this. Alright, so we're gonna make a new tile map layer. We're just gonna call it fade tiles. Okay, now this is all unorganized, but it doesn't really matter. We're gonna create a new script and we're gonna call this tile to area. Now this will extend, what is this again? Tile map layer. And we'll give it a class name, tile to area. Now, I'm gonna start by making an export variable. We'll call this containers. And it'll be an array of node 2D. Now we're going to create another one called export variable ignore last physics layer. It'll be a bool. It'll be true. So the idea is that actually we can do this now because why not? We can give this node this script, so we'll just use this script, is that we can create a new tile set, and my game is 8x8, 8. And then the physics layer, we can create a physics layer and we can turn these off, and then actually first we'll just set this up. So let's go in here, let's give it a terrain, just name it grass. We'll just do this one, the green one down here. Grass. Okay, we have this set up now in the physics layer. So for this, we just need one physics layer, because this won't be solid. We won't actually collide with it, unlike these tiles in the world. So this bool right here, ignore last physics layer. If it's set to true, we could create a new layer and have it exist, and it won't create an area based off this layer. So it could be, we could actually collide with it. But for this, we're going to actually set this to false for fade tiles. So we can set this right here to false. So the idea is that we can create a tile set and we can draw over like this, right? And if we go into game, we won't actually collide with it. We can go right through it, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to create an area, area 2D, and we'll just call this fade away area. And what will happen is this tile map will have this collision layer right here, and we can turn off both one and everything. Just turn off all of it. And go in here, paint, physics layer, and we can do this. And the code that we will write in here will basically create an collision shape for every single tile right here, and then it will get applied as a child to this area. And then this area, we can set the collision mask to 2 for the player, so it will check the player. So we're basically creating collision shapes through code to check the player. And it's a lot easier than manually, you know, like setting the collision shape. Like, you know, you could just like, you know, give this a collision shape and then, you know, make it fit this. But I think it's easier to just do it automatically. So that's what we're gonna do. Now this bool right here, ignore last physics layer. If we still want this tile to have like a solid that we could collide with, then we would turn this on and we would create another layer and, you know, give it a shape in the physics layer down here in the this for the 1, and it wouldn't create a collision shape off that last physics layer. Now this containers right here is how many areas, and this works for static bodies too if you have some niche cases. And basically we can apply this to this area, and it will go first entry in this array will apply to the first physics layer, and then so on and so forth. So if you know, if you have 3 areas, it will be 1 area, or the 0 area, I guess, will apply to physics layer 0, and then area 1 will apply to physics layer 1, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we go back in here, and we can start with a ready function, and we can do if containers does not equal to null, and then create areas should be a function, and we'll do func create areas. We'll just give it a pass for now. Now this is kind of just here just in case this is empty, which shouldn't really be the case, but just in case, so it doesn't crash the game. Now this right here, we're gonna write var cells equals get used cells, and this, I'm pretty sure this basically gets every single cell that's used in the tile map. Oh wait, no, okay, so this gets a position of where our tiles are in the world, and we'll use that to place the areas where the cells are. And then we'll do for polygon layer in tile set dot get physics layers count, and this will basically get how many physics layers we have. And then we'll do for C in cells, which will basically loop over every single cell that we have. So it'll basically loop through each of these cells. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And we'll write if ignore last physics layer is equal to true, if polygon layer is greater than containers dot size -1 break. So this basically checks what physics layer we are looping through. So if we're looping through physics layer 0, it will, you know, continue in the code and will add, you know, the collision shape to the area. But if we're on the last physics layer, it will instead break out of this for loop. So it's basically ignoring the last physics layer. So that out of the way, we can do var data equals get cell tile data, and then we can pass the cell. So this gets the data of the current cell that we are on. And we'll do var polygon index is equal to data.get collision polygons.count polygon layer. Now basically what this does is it gets how many polygons are in this cell. So for example, this cell, there's one polygon. Now if I was to have this, there would be no polygons, so it would get no polygons. If I was to have something weird like this, which you can do, this would be 2 polygons. So that's basically what this code does. Let me fix this now. Oops. There we go. Yeah. So we'll do if polygon index is equal to 0. So if there's no polygon, we'll just continue and just go to the we'll just go to the next cell. Because, you know, if there's no polygon, there's no shape to create, to add to the area. Now, we'll do var points is equal to data.get collision polygon points. And we'll pass the polygon layer 0. Or, oops, we'll pass polygon index, sorry. So we're basically passing what layer of the polygon we're on and how many polygons there is. Now we'll create a new collision shape by going collision shape equals collision polygon 2D dot new, and then collision shape dot polygon is equal to points. And this points creates the individual points that are in this cell. So the points here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it sets it. Now, collision shape dot position is equal to C rendering. This is gonna be a bit weird. Rendering quadrant size plus vector 2I rendering quadrant size rendering quadrant size divided by 2. Now this is just some weird math to basically put the collision shape into the right position where the cell is. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how this works exactly because I'm bad with math, but it works, and that's what matters. Now we can do containers. Oh my god. And then we'll get the current container we are on with polygon layer, and then we'll do add child collision shape. So this should in theory work. So we have our area set right here. We have ignore last physics layer on, and we can for now add a script to this area, and then this script will handle all the fading away and everything. So for now we can just do this. We can see body entered. Let's just see. Oh, oops, I connected it to the wrong thing. We can do body entered, and we can connect to ourself, and we'll just do for now print hi, just to see if it works. So I think there's a bit of a bug here. I'm pretty sure what's happening is polygon index is returning 1, but in the actual array it should be 0. So we can do -1. And we can do if polygon index is less than 0. Maybe that will fix it. Yep, that fixed it. Okay, so now should work. If we go in here, it'll say hi. Yep. So it is now detecting the player when we go in here. So that's the easy part, or the hard part done. So now we can go into our area and we can do on body entered. We can, how do we want to do this? I want this to look nice. So we're gonna do something weird. We're gonna do var fade in tween is a tween. And it's equal to null for now. Var fade out tween is a tween as well. And it's also equal to null. And we'll also need a body exited. We can also create an export variable. We can call this tile to fade. And it can be tile to area. Now in here we can set it to this. Now we can do var fade out tween is equal to get tree dot create tween, and fade out tween dot tween property tile, and we'll be tweening tile to fade, and we can tween modulate, and the final value, let's see, modulate. I like to do HTML because it's easy, so I just grab this value. So we do color dot HTML, and then we pass the HTML. And then we want it to, actually we can create a const right here. Const fade time. It can be a float, and it'll equal to 0.25, so quarter of a second. And it will take fade time to do this. Now we can do the same thing on the exit basically. We can do fade in tween is equal to get tree dot create tween fade out, or fade in tween dot tween property tile to fade modulate color dot HTML, and we can reset this and get FFF or whatever, and then fade time. Now should work. Go in here, it fades away, we leave, it fades back in. Now problem, oh actually no, that works fine. I thought it would freak out a little bit, but it works fine. So now let's get rid of turn our grid on, get rid of this, and can do, which I'm kind of bad with how these are supposed to look. There we go. These can be that. This can be. There we go. That looks right. So now it looks like, you know, just it belongs right in the world. And we go in here and it fades away. Go out, fades back in. Now, The reason why I did this complicated class and everything is because this code right here is amazing. This can do so much. Being able to easily create areas to tile sets lets you do all kinds of cool stuff. So even if you're a beginner, I really suggest that you use this code and do all kinds of stuff with it because it's very powerful. And we also made this a class because we can just easily, you know, fade, or what is it, tile to area. We can easily just grab it, and it has all the code already. And we'll just call this, I don't know, test tiles. I'm not gonna like finish it or anything. And then we can easily add as many areas as we want to it, and then draw them in the tile map, and then just apply them to these containers right here. Just like that. It's very powerful, very strong, and you don't have to code anything other than what these areas need to do. So it's very strong. Now, if you want this tile to have its own code in the actual tile, you want to mess with the tile, you can do this. You can create a new script, and then you can say it extends tile to area. Then we go func ready super dot create areas. Oops, create. Why is it super dot create areas? There we go. Now, from what I know, when you're using functions from classes, you have to use super like this in the ready. It doesn't work otherwise. So actually, we can modify this right here. We can do func check containers, and then we can just copy and paste this right here, and then we can put check containers, and then we can just have super called check containers. That's a bit better way to do it. And then in our physics process or whatever, you know, you could add whatever code you want to add, mess with the tiles. But that's really it. I suggest you just have fun with, you know, this code right here, and you can even modify this. Like, this used to be something really small in my game, and then it slowly evolved into this code that I have here. It used to not have, you know, a lot of this stuff. It didn't even have the containers. So this is really powerful code. If this tutorial helped you, let me know. Leave a like. If it didn't help, comment and tell me what I can do to improve. This is my first tutorial, so, you know, I don't really know how to do this. I don't really know how to structure these things. You know, this is my way of celebrating my first year of programming, is by making my first tutorial. So, but thank you for watching.